How to think like an architect? Let's find out. Hello everyone, this is Architect Wael Koseji, and today I've got you 4 principles in order to be a good architect thinker. So let's go. Let's kick this off with the very first principle. What are you designing? What do you want to design? What are you thinking of? The style of your design, the kind of your project. What's the environment of that project? Is it public or private? Is it modern or classic? Is it a high-rise building or a low one? So all you need is a clean image of what you are designing. But these thoughts have to be realistic, like you can execute them in real world. And this is where you start your project. Like for example, I want to design a building, a residential building. This is my first information. And that will bring us to our second principle, which is doing a research. Pinterest, ArcDaily, Arc20 are 3 main engines that I totally and 100% use in order to search for many and similar projects according to my keywords. So I go, for example, to Pinterest and I want to get some images, some ideas and some things to think about and to take them into account in my design that I'm working on. So I go to Pinterest and type that description that I have made as a title. A modern skyscraper with glass facade. These are the 2 main principles that are related to each other. Now the third principle is blank paper and the pencil for sure. And talking about that, let me give you a hack. You can always make mistakes because guess what? You will always have another blank paper. And let's go to our 4th main principle that you're going to gather all these 3 in a piece of paper. I'm going to show you how to practice thinking as an architect on this piece of paper in addition to this amazing pencil. So guys, to be clear about this paper is the most important part of designing your own project. You have to know the importance of this stage. What do I do since I've got a blank paper? What's the first thing that I have to do on it? Well, for me, I always start with a quick warm-up. Like for example, I go and start by some vertical lines, some horizontal, sorry. As you can see, like a really close lines is just to warm up. As you can see, like in order to enter the mood of designing or drawing. And also I go with the vertical ones, like for example, like this. Okay, then I go 45 degrees. Okay, this is the first one. The second one, I practice always the circles. Okay, then again, I go and start another horizontal lines just to enter the mood. Okay, so now guys, I'm putting you right in a live process of design. Okay, so this is my first step. I always go with the warm up process. Okay, this is 1. 2, what am I going to do? Actually, I didn't this only for warm-up. I did this in order to break the blank white paper. Okay, like a lot of people are really scared to start, so I always start with some sketches. Okay, so I've got my papers here, I have my plans, I have my references, my images on my computer. So what I'm going to do next is to start with the plan. Like for example, let's say that I have set the plan and let's say it's L-shaped. Okay, just like that. Okay, so I want to design a project that's its plan is in L-shaped. I always start like typing things, okay, in order to fill up the paper. Sometimes I go and maybe name the project, like for example 5 stars hotel, just for example. Okay, so this is the plan of it. Now what's the site plan? Okay, let's assume that this is the site plan. Like I have, for example, these streets right here. Okay, so this is my project, so I'm going to name it project. Okay, right here, and this one is the street. Okay, this is how I start thinking. Now the second thing is I'm going to draw a really basic L-shaped plan. Like, I'm going to make it in perspective. I always start with perspective. To be honest guys, I'm not thinking about designing a plan. There are tons of ideas and techniques to design a plan, but for now I'm designing an exterior design. I want to make an exterior mask, so I'm going to start with a really quick L shaped, for example, maybe like this. As you can see, I'm not being very precise, okay? Like, for example, just like that. Like a really basic shape, like it doesn't have to be even correct, okay? And I have my streets over here, maybe just like that. Another one going here. Okay, just go with the lines, just start guys, don't be afraid, okay? For example, I want to design this low-rise building. I'm planning to make some curves right here. Like, for example, there will be a gate or something that will come up and make a mass. For example, maybe we can go for another thing right here. Okay, so don't ever be afraid of thinking on this piece of paper. You always have another blank one, you can always start over guys, okay? So don't be afraid of it. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just doing some kind of designing, okay, just like that. For example, I'm designing an elevation or something, so these are going to be like straight lines or something. So once I'm done, what should I do with that design? Actually, I go and put on some maybe some text or something. Let me do chamfer angles, just like that, in order to make it like a... Okay, that's it, I'm done. Once I'm done with the project, always go with some other details, like for example, apply some maybe trees, okay, just like that. Maybe you can use another color for other details in order to not to make it a complicated one. Actually, I don't care about any other details. Maybe there are some railing here. Yeah, just to make some sense. Like, okay, let's go here and name it hotel, just like that. Those are trees, for example, and these are, let's say that's the main street. Okay, so this is how I design my project. Let's see some examples of my sketches. For example, like I was doing a elevation just like that. As you can see, there are a couple of... Look at this one. Like I already didn't do anything. I'm just analyzing my project. I'm doing some sketches. I have done like an elevation, some explanations right there, and I have drew an elevation right over there. Let's check some other sketches, and this is how I start from a concept. For example, this is a project where I started the concept from a book, okay, an open book, and I transferred that concept into a plan. Once I'm done with the plan, I went to the elevation, and believe me, the 3D results are shocking. Now let's go and check another one. You see guys, like you don't always have to be perfect. Like this is, for example, not a perfect perspective, neither a perfect elevation. It's just sketches. This one, for example, I was trying out some patterns for some design. So this is how I think. Always go with the paper. Like for example, let's check another one. This is the perspectives that I was working on. As you can see, I've got some things on here and maybe some streets, and also maybe you can check them out just like that. Okay, so you don't have to be afraid of what you are going to do. You see, I always like go with some sketches. I type some things and go with normal shapes and lines, and that's it guys. Actually, I want to show you something which is a really random paper. I was designing a high-rise building, so I had to draw some really random things and sketches, and as you can see, like, you can't understand anything, but I do understand my lines and my thoughts, like where are they and where to start, where to go, and the patterns right here. And that's it, guys. This is how you think like an architect. Have a clear image, do a research, have a blank paper and a pencil, and go and start thinking on the paper itself. Congratulations, you are officially an architect. Hope this video was helpful, enjoyable, and as always, guys, you can always share me your thoughts in the comments down below in order to make new videos, new thoughts, and new tutorials. And hope to see you guys in another video of Daily Architect Life. Till the next one.
Listen.